So as you can see here, this is the user interface of network spam solution. Uh, so actually, this is the user interface for an administration account. Uh, so here, the admin can see multiple pages and multiple menus for management and also for access. So this is uh, the access or the My Activities page where a user can find its available sessions uh, that yes that can that the user can access and yeah to access their resources. So this is possible through an access policy that should be assigned to the users and which also defines the target resources that the user can access, and also the access policy define how this session should be done and which activities should be done before, during, and after the session. Uh, we will see exactly how we can create an access policy. So this is My Activities page, which any user which access PAM solution and need to access target resources so should find all the access policies that he is permitted to use, and which target resources he is allowed to access, of course using privileged accounts, on-demand privileged accounts, or managed accounts managed by, of course, by the PAM solution. So so as we said, so you can guarantee privileged access to target resources, as we said, by the defining access policies. So so from the access policy you can define which users are assigned to this access policy. So the users that should access those resources, and which activities should be done during, after, and before the session. For example, here it's an activity token for domain admin access. So this policy will grant admin access to domain controller using an activity token. Activity token are the ephemeral accounts, are the on-demand and limited in time accounts, which will be delegated to the allowed users, to the users that are added to this policy. So an activity token will be created before the session. So this is included into the pre-session activities. Then this account will be added to the domain admins group into the domain controller, and this template will define how the user, the account will the account username, the login should look like. Then during this session you can add activities like monitor for user login. For each login the user do during this limited in time session. So this login will be monitored and uploaded to the PAM server, and after this user ends the session, so the account created before the session will be first of all removed from the domain admins. So this activity is linked to this one, so you can only remove a previously added account from the domain admins group. Then then the user will be logged off before it can be deleted from the domain controller. So you can see here it's an ephemeral account. It will be created and then removed. So to eliminate the standing privileges into the domain controller. Of course, the session will be interactive, and then we can define our policy using these activities. For example, this one. So we can then grant the policy to the users which are onboarded into the network span. Actually, first of all, we should onboard resources to this to the PAM solution, and then we can onboard all the users related to those resources. So we can onboard them to allow them to access the PAM solution, and then use the PAM solution to access their target resources. For example, for this policy, so those users will access the domain controller. So using an activity token login account. So it's an ephemeral account that they can use during their privileged session. So let's see for this user, for example, how its dashboard will look like. So this is for the user M Zawani. So he has this policy affected and assigned to him, so he can use this policy to create a new session to this domain controller resource. So he can access this domain controller resource using an admin account or admin with admin permissions account. So at any time this user can access the PAM solution first of all, and then can create a session according to this access policy. Also, let me go back to the admin user interface to mention about the session settings. So we can set the session settings from the connection profiles. So we can here define and enable or disable the session recording. Also we can define or enable option for the auto connect, so the user will not be obliged to write the credentials before he can access the target resource. Also we can control the session duration, and also we can define the how often the session end notification will be displayed to the user during the session. We can also enable the possibility to extend the session if of course if the user need an extension, so he can extend the session for example here by 30 minutes, and he will have only two possible session extensions, so he can request two extensions of the session. Then the monitor for logon, as we mentioned in this session activities that the access policy contains monitor for login activity. So the monitoring will be ensured each 5 minutes, and also other possible options that we can set. Also we can allow the user to access the password for the used account, and also here we can define the approval workflow. Here it is automatic, so the user will not be obliged to request for approval to access the target resource. But if we define it to tiered workflow, for example like in this connection profile, so here we should define approvers and the time after which the approval will escalate. If no one of the approvers, if no one can approve this session, or if the request is declined, then the approval will be escalated to another person, which can take the final decision about the access to the target resources, of course. So let me go back to the user the standard user dashboard, and we will simulate here a session, as we say, to an active directory server using an admin account. So here the user can add notes or ticket number. Here it's not mandatory, so it's optional, so users can add notes for which will be useful for the control and the reviewing the session and for analysis. Then the user can select the resource that he aims to access. Here it's a single resource contained in this access policy, so the user will access only this resource. Then he can start the session. So this session don't need an approval, don't need to be approved. So here the PAM solution is provisioning the session, so it's now provisioning the pre-session activities, which are the creation of the ephemeral account and the assigning of this account to the admin domain admins group. Then here it's available now. It's available. We can download the access file. So as we said in the presentation, so users can use their already installed clients to access their target resources. Here, for example, it's an RDP session, and we will use the remote desktop client. So this session is proxified from the PAM solution. It's not directly from the user computer. So here we can access, as you can see, we can access the domain controller. So here you can see the session is being recorded, and here you can find the remaining time for this session. This is the account that it has been created. It's a new account. So yeah. So let's wait until the user is and the desktop is finally uploaded here, and the user can do any operation, of course any allowed operation uh, regarding the attributed permissions. So here, for example, let me go to users and computers to see this created account, and to see its membership to the domain admins group. So this is the domain controller containers, and here we can find the user. So this user is a new user which is created using the username, and added to this username another ID. So because this username it already exists in the Active Directory, here we can find this username which has been already onboarded into the PAM solution. So we are not using this managed account, we are using a new account. So we can this account so we can only for example onboard standard users to the PAM solution, and attribute and we can create new accounts, new privileged accounts, ephemeral accounts of course, and attribute or delegate those accounts to those users, those standard users. So this account, let me see the membership of this account. So it's member here of domain admins. So here it's admin du domain, so it means domain admins. So it's French, the language is French for this resource, but as you can see here it's domain admin account. So we can also, for example, let me launch PowerShell and type some commands. Let's say rpconfig for example, let's say let's change the directory. Example, let's say sorry, also let me say for example, when I go back to the admin the admin, for example, yeah, can see the session, like the live session here. So this from the active sessions dashboard. So uh, so this session, it's live now, for example. So we can view directly the all the privileges operations. You can find all the details, which users using which account, and log it on to which resource, and using which access policy, and at which time the session started, and also the duration of the session. And you can find all the keystrokes and all the comments, the audit of all the comments and keystrokes typed by the user during this session. And also here, for example, so this admin can terminate the session or log the session. So for example, here let me terminate the session for this user. So as you can see here, the session is ended for this user using, yeah, and it's the session is deprovisioning now. So it's doing the post-session activities, which are the user log off, the removing of the user from the domain admins group, and also the remove of the user accounts. So let me show you directly from the target resource. So let's see here from the SBPAM users container. So the user is not anymore so found into this container. So it's been of course deleted from the domain controller, as you can see. Yeah, here the session, it's now we can find this session from the historical dashboard. So, and this session has been cancelled. So yeah, it's not being ended by the user, it's not being completed. So it's been cancelled by an admin. And we can find the session details, like the login account, the policy, the activities, the access policy, the user, and the dedicated account. And you can find the RDP session here. You can find the recorded session. Yeah, as you can see here, the recording here, the session establishment. You can find all the activities. So you can go forward. So here, as you can see here, so navigating to the user's properties, the user properties, then we can use also this log also to go through the video and to go through the activity, to show exactly what the user did during its login session, and all the comments. unfortunately this session was divided into two parts. Yes. So then can find the second part here. So let's say if the user, for example, quit the session before it ends, so he can come back then. He come back later. So if the session didn't expire yet, so the user can come back and log in again, and there we can find another session record. So this is, for example, the second login. So here, for example, let's go through this. So the user, what did the user type into the PowerShell? So here, you can find all, if the comments are not totally completed, so we can find all the keystrokes. So yeah, this is exactly. And after that, the session has been terminated by an admin, by a PAM admin, as we did. So you can find all the records, the keystrokes here from this dashboard, and you can of course export all those activities. Yeah, you can view the session logs. Yeah, so everything, you can find everything, the session logs here. For example, you can export the session log. Yeah, so here, for example, after the so those the activities. So here the user has been removed